Okay, so I was just talking to someone who was so enthusiastic to find out what I do, really sees the need for lots of support around all the tasks and paperwork that fall to families after the loss of a loved one. And then they said, "So you're an end of life doula, right?" So, not quite. I'm going to take this video to explain the difference between an after loss professional and a death doula or an end of life doula. So, probably a good place to start in explaining the difference between death doulas and after loss professionals is what kind of work we do. Death doulas services can vary widely, but generally their main focus is to provide support and companionship for the dying person and their loved ones. After loss professionals are focused more on the practical work that falls to the families while they're grieving the loss of their loved one. So after loss professionals are going to step in as sort of estate project managers, empathetic detectives, an extra set of helping hands to help with the work of closing down accounts, transferring ownership, and dealing with the property and the things that the person has left behind. So we do different kinds of work, but really there's a huge need for both approaches. Death Doula's goals are really around shifting our culture's consciousness around death and dying, which is hugely important. They show up in support, and joy, and love, and help ease the person's transition at the end of their life and support the family as well. After loss professionals show up in a place where professionals' roles are really fragmented or specialized. And so, after loss professionals have this clear eyed approach to take a comprehensive look at everything falling to their client. And they really bring the executive functioning skills and the organization and project management that people need to sort through all of those forms and all that paperwork that they have to deal with while they're grieving. Another big difference between death doulas and after loss professionals is who our client is. Death doula's client is typically the dying person, which makes sense, right? They can be hired by and support family members as well, but their main focus is providing comfort and guidance to the person facing death. After loss professionals client is typically the person responsible in the family for administering their estate. So they're taking action on behalf of the deceased. That means it could be the heir, it could be the surviving spouse, it could be administrator, executor, but basically it's the person who is in charge of making those changes to accounts and handling their affairs. And this is probably obvious by now, but one of the biggest differences between death doulas and after loss professionals is when we get involved. Death doulas are involved in the last months, weeks, or days of a person's life. And after loss professionals get involved in the days, weeks, or months after a person has died. I hope you can see there is a lot of room for both kinds of professionals, both approaches, in really challenging parts of an individual and a family's life. If you'd like to learn more about after loss professionals, you can check out afterlosspros.com. Thanks for watching.